Hi, today I want to talk about more money. No one seems to have enough money. No, no one has enough money. You can never have enough money. So I do what's called financial readings, and that is we just do a general full 13 card tarot card spread in this case. Um, for how what is going on, where is the hole in your program. Sometimes it's one thing, and then sometimes you're going in a totally different direction. I can't see a way out. And so then I would do an astrology reading based on the date of your birth. Did you know that based on the day that you were born, you are destined to walk a certain path? And if you do not walk it, you will fail. You will never succeed. And then you will be like one client who is working, who, based on her birthday, was destined to be an entrepreneur, and she works a job out of fear. So even with the clarity of why she is not getting a promotion and why she is not winning accolades at her job and why she is not appreciated at her job and why she can't be the top salesperson at her job, she still clings out of fear to this job when she's supposed to be an entrepreneur doing her own business her way, not somebody else's way. Now, I grant you that's not for everybody, but let's talk about a few people who it is. Because based on your birth date, there is something or some things, usually about 7 to 10 or 12 I can give you, and you can pick one. You don't have to do just one. You can try out 3 or 4. You had 12 things, but there are thousands of things that you can be doing that you will fail at, and only 10 or 12 that you would succeed at based on your birth date. So that's another reason you get clarity, what we call clarity in readings. And I was inspired to do this tape today by one of my clients, as I often am, and their feedback wrote, "Thank you so much. I came in initially feeling intimidated and overwhelmed about my career path, and she guided me in a direction I never knew I could go in. I now have growing interest in a field that I never knew existed until we spoke. I'm looking forward to seeing where this takes me, and I will definitely be back to update on my journey. Thanks again." You're so very welcome. So what happened here? The story is, and it's a great story, and that's why I wanted to do the tape. Uh, she was in school, so she can go any direction she wants. It's a terrible thing to be in a career for 30 years that you're going to fail in and find that out. So she's in college, and she chats me up, and she goes, "I'm applying to, I believe, 6 schools. Which one will I get into?" And so I do readings on all 6 schools, and I said none of them. And because she's in junior school, she's going over to the BA level for the master's and the PhD. So she was smart to get a reading. So naturally, both of our next question is why. You know what I mean? And that's because she wasn't, getting good enough grades to beat her competition. Oh, that tells me right there, this is an astrology reading because you're in the wrong field. So then I do an astrology reading, and what comes up for her happens to be nursing. She goes immediately, "Oh, no, 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 no. I cannot, will not be a nurse because I don't do well in nursing classes." And I said, but that's your astrology. So I said, something else is wrong here. It's the type of nursing, and it's that fear factor once again, because me as a reader looking at her overall chart saw that she had to have security. So I looked into it further, and it came to be that she also needed to be creative. So I have been reading for a long time, 40 years, and I've kind of heard of a lot of things. So I said, nursing, creative, arts, medical arts. So I went out and I looked up for her, and this is what I do for all my clients if I get more than 10 minutes. You can do this in a reading, but once the reading is over and that's all the time you valued, I make no further entrees in. And I looked up medical arts. And it turns out, which I never knew, just like she said she never knew she could go into, turns out that musicians, need nurses if they break their hand. Makes sense to me. People who performance, which is sports today, is more than therapy, but it's soccer is considered like dance. So dancers, soccer players, basketball players, all these people who have to, dance, their way through life, need specific nursing, and it's not therapy, it's nursing. And so I was like, wow. So I, contacted her on a follow up, because I had asked her to meditate on nursing so that she could get rid of her fear, being that it's in her destiny. And I do know about destiny readings and astrology. So I knew that she was supposed to be succeeding. And she said she had meditated on it, and we found that she could get into all 6 schools on nursing, but still she wasn't motivated. So I said, but your astrology is also creative. And what you're trying to go into has nothing that's creative, which is why you're not succeeding. So I said, have you ever thought of medical arts? And I gave her the definition I just gave you. And that's when she got excited. And not only that, she found out that she could get a scholarship. I mean, the world just opened up. And that's when you know you're going on the right direction for your money. The world just fell open to her. She was able to get a scholarship. She was able to get into a school that was close to her. She was excited. She was in her destiny nursing combined with her destiny creative. And she will be secure. That was something else that was in her birth date. And she will be successful. And I'm telling you, I'm almost more excited for her than she is. But that's what makes this business worth it. So I wanted to tell another reading that I got that was just as exciting to me. And it was on a similar thing. We were talking, and she was unhappy in her job, and she wanted to know, was she going to get a promotion? So there's a clue for you folks. If you can't make it in your job, you're either in the wrong career, and I can help you get into the right one, or you shouldn't be working a job. And I'm open-minded to that, because I just do readings and talk to a lot of people, but a lot of people are not open-minded to not working a job, which is what I had said previously. So we were talking, and I said, well, you need to, have your own business, and you're in, this woman was in a market. She was in New York, #1 market. And I said, well, this shouldn't be too hard. It's not like marketing is going to be a problem. I said, is there anything at all that you would do if you knew you could not fail? And lo and behold, she gave me an idea that I think is wonderful. I am just waiting for her designs. Um, Her thing, she was working in the medical as well. And her thing was she wanted their support stockings. And I remember my grandmother wearing support hose. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but if you look it up, they're just terrible looking stockings. And if you have trouble with your immune system or your circulatory system, the doctor's going to say you have to wear these support hose, just like support shoes when you're out during the day. And it's just very unattractive for a woman. So she said that she wanted to design some very attractive support holes for people who were forced to do this. And I thought that was just an outstanding idea, because why not wear support holes that matches every outfit you got, or is like this scarf, or flowery or whatever, checkers, anything, but that ace bandage looking thing that looks like your legs are gonna fall off. It's very, image and beauty is very important. So, we talked it all through with a website, and I was very excited. Being it runs in my family, I don't know. I was like, wow. I said, boy, you know what? If I ever, can find that website, I will buy, 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 buy. And it's a great market because older people have money. That's the one that knocked me out of the box. I didn't even know that one was in her mind. She can get that patent. So that being said, those are some examples of how you can have more money than you can spend. Um, but you have to follow up, and get a reading, because another woman had another brilliant idea to create, uh, uh, I don't know, salves or lotions, but she would not do it. And so she's stuck in a job, and she's saying she doesn't have enough money. And every time she calls me back and says that, I go to myself, well, I know why you don't have enough money. So you have to stay motivated, and that's part of my job, because I can see the things you need to do. And a lot of people, they don't remember everything I may have said in the first reading. So, so that's why, follow up is good. Are we in our 21-day cycle? Have you meditated on colors or things that might come to you? Because I know when I was coming here, I had a dream, and in this dream was this board, and it has two of the people that represent God in paths of spirituality that I work with. And so I got up and went out to the art store and created the board, based on my meditation. So that's what happens. We all have that ability within us. So, uh, oh, you're right. And this is the third one I just got the other night. Okay, this woman is stuck on being on disability. I said stuck on being on disability because she's like, well, I don't have enough money to see my father. I don't have enough money for this. I don't have enough money for that. I'm like, yeah, well, instead of, you'll never have, well, the reading, said, you will never have enough money. Now, I don't know what's going to happen where she's at, you know. She's close to California. She's on the line where the fires are. I don't know what. She had all kind of excuses. I'm entitled to this disability. Maybe you are. But what are you going to do, if your house burns down? Well, that's okay. I can still get my check because I have a post office box. What are you going to do if the post office burns down? Suppose suppose you're in PTSD along with your other disability, and you don't even know how to contact the government. What are you going to do if you lose your cell phone? I mean, really, really, I was just really trying to communicate the reading that this government check wasn't going to work out for whatever reason for her. Then she said she was still saying that she wanted to go into pharmaceuticals. And she said she was going to go into pharmaceuticals after she started getting the check that wasn't going to work out. I mean, I'm looking at cards. I'm getting information from the guardian angels and spirit guides, who are right there with her in Colorado while I'm over here in New York. I mean, I'm just amazed it works. So I don't question it because it works. And she said she was going to go back into the pharmaceutical business. And she said, will her licensing work out? So the reading said no. And she said, why not? I'm like, that's a good question. And they said because she was behind the times in education, that she needed more education or certification. I said, okay. And so then I asked her, I said, based on the information that we just got from the Oracle, when's the last time you worked in the pharmaceutical business? 10 years ago. Okay, that makes sense. Definitely not going to be able to get certified. And on the budget that she was going to be on, she definitely wasn't going to be able to pay for any schooling. So I said to her, things have changed. It's been 10 years. And here we go back on having enough money. And on schooling, you can do on your phone now. You don't even need to go to school, like I believe. You can get it right on your phone or on your desktop or, your iPad or, whatever it is that you're working with. Uh, and I said, well, why don't you go into medical marijuana? I mean, you can grow it, which will be better for your disability, for your diabetes, you're moving around, you know. I mean, most people with diabetes need to just change their diet and exercise, and they can like cure themselves before they go into tragic stage. Because she had asked me about that, and I had said they were talking about your diet isn't correct. It's like she didn't want to follow her diet. She was just getting a lot of resistance to being independently wealthy and healthy and wise. And that's part of the problem when you don't have money, when you don't, open yourself to the guardian angels. Because I said, don't you believe the guardian angels love you? And they do. When you get a reading, that's why it's a sacrifice. That's why it's not given freely. One has to make a sacrifice, just like church or any place else. So, now there was the pharmaceutical track that was up to date based on her reading. That's my job to make those interpretations and to help the client by listening with the information that I get. And and then I was saying also, if you want to go back into pharmaceuticals, I'm not so sure how long that business is going to be in business, being that we had the opioid crisis and epidemic in this country, and the medical marijuana is supposed to stop cancer, which is supposed to increase by a ridiculous 70 or 90%. I don't even remember by the next 10 years. So, readings are for clarity and very important. It's a discussion with an advisor, myself, who can channel the information that your spirit guides and guardian angels are giving you because they love you. Okay? And your part is to make your sacrifice, whatever the dollar amount is, because it's an investment in yourself. And then we can continue to help other people, which makes you good karma for the world. Enough for today. As always, when you get a reading with me, you are also contributing to domestic violence, stopping the silence, as well as bringing joy back after assault. And there'll be a video here shortly on that. But here's to coming in and seeing how you can change your life and having support with a financial reading for more money. All right, have a great day.